got the whips, and you got gimps and bondage masks and women with blood all over their titties, and he's whipping and they're whipping and they're spinning and dance, fire, doo doo. I loved it. Hey, did you ever see that movie? Did you ever see that movie? Did you ever see that movie? Welcome to Hey, did you ever see that movie? I'm your host, Des, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Lynn.
Tony, an accent doesn't make you intelligent. If it did, you'd be Einstein.
And joining us again, the podcaster with 1,000 potions, Mikki.
Hey, guys.
Okay. This week, we will be discussing the 1983 dance musical movie, Staying Alive, written and directed by Sylvester Stallone, starring John Travolta, Cynthia Rhodes, Fiona Hughes, and Frank Stallone. As always, this movie will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it, then come back and listen to the podcast. And now, it's time for another installment of Disaster Piece Theater. So sit back. Will you please enjoy the show? Welcome to Disaster Piece Theater, where me and my two co-hosts will act out one scene from the movie that we are reviewing for you this evening. So please, sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show.
Quiet on the set!
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Hey, yo, Jackie, I didn't think you was gonna show up tonight.
Look. I'm really sorry. The show ran late.
I'm crying too. Tears in my eyes.
You remember Carl? Carl, this is Tony.
Yeah, how you doing?
Sup?
Yeah, I need to ask you something.
Now, Jackie, I need to ask you something. That guy's a musician.
Yeah.
I didn't know you was musician type. I never thought that, no.
He just plays rhythm guitar.
Rhythm guitar?
Over here.
Rhythm guitar? Oh, that's the worst. Everybody in the world knows you can't trust a rhythm guitar player. Rhythm guitar.
He's just a friend. Thanks for the walk, Carl.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's all right. She's in good hands.
What are you, Allstate pal?
Yeah, you want disability?
Cut!
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And now it's time for Dez's 4-in-1 fun and one fake fact, where it will be up to my two co-hosts to decide which fact is total bullshit. Fun fact number 1. Patrick Swayze made a cameo as a dancer in the Satan's Alley dance scene. Number 2. Sylvester Stallone considered calling the movie Into the Fire and casting himself as the lead, but after a week of classical dance training, he decided to rewrite the movie as a sequel to Saturday Night Fever and cast the dance-savvy John Travolta in the lead. Number 3. John Travolta claims his favorite director to work with was Sylvester Stallone, as he knew how to make him look the best on the screen. Number 4. Though Sylvester Stallone has an uncredited cameo in this movie, it is the only movie of his directing filmography where he was not in a lead or a supporting role. And number 5, Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi plays a member of Frank Stallone's band. Mikki, which of these 5 facts do you think is total bullshit?
I'm going to say 4.
Okay. Dylan, which do you think is bullshit?
I think it's number 1. I know that Patrick Swayze is in the movie, but I don't think he's in Satan's Alley. I think he's in like a thing earlier in the movie, like when they're doing like a I don't know, like a thing. I don't know.
Nah. So I can get it by you guys every week. It's Pat's the only one I can't stump now. No, this movie was always going to be a sequel to Saturday Night Fever. It was never going to be called Into the Fire. So
Gotcha.
Okay. With a box office budget of $22 million and a box office gross of $127 million, this movie was a huge success. And it was also nominated for an Oscar. So this is a fucking amazing movie. Just because you two magoos can't see it doesn't mean it's not true.
Yeah, and everybody else on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, okay. Dylan, will you please give us the synopsis of Staying Alive?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay.
Also, I'd like to say that the $22 million all should probably went into Sylvester Stallone's pocket because they didn't use any of it on the movie.
Are you kidding
Anyways,
me? Did you
I can
watch
give you a
the-
synopsis.
Oh,
boy.
God. Okay,
Oh,
go
boy.
ahead. Go ahead.
Total egotistical narcissist fucks over a longtime girlfriend and plays wishy-washy between her and an annoying, obnoxious dancer for the entire movie.
Okay.
I love it. I mean,
A young
true.
Billy Mumphrey. No. Here
Billy
we see
Mumphrey. What the
growth
hell's that?
from Seinfeld.
I don't know.
The story of young Billy Mumphrey.
I don't know.
Okay. We just
Anyways.
watched it the other day.
I'm not watching it.
Okay.
5 years later, Tony Manero's Saturday Night Fever is still burning. And now he's strutting towards his biggest challenge yet, succeeding as a dancer on the Broadway stage while still continuing to be a complete and utter asshole.
All right, that's not in the synopsis. Let me give you my synopsis. The hottest man to ever walk the earth.
We have 3
Tony
synopses.
Manero. Young Tony Manero from the gritty streets of Brooklyn takes his disco dancing prowess to the streets of Broadway, where he fights his way to the top to become the lead in Satan's Alley, the hottest show on Broadway. You see growth in this character as he comes from a slightly misogynistic womanizer to a caring, loving boyfriend. End
Ew.
movie. Okay.
Yeah, that's not how I saw it.
All right, let's get into this thing.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Former disco king Anthony Tony Manero, played by John
That's right.
Travolta, now age 25, has left Brooklyn and is living in Manhattan. He's staying in a flophouse hotel while he works as a dance instructor by day and as a waiter at a nightclub at night, looking for his big break in the modern dance productions on Broadway. He's left behind his life in Brooklyn as well as his family, and he's trying to mature and refine himself, but certain attitudes have not changed, which includes his womanizing. Tony is currently dating the forgiving fellow dancer Jackie. She's played by Cynthia Rhodes. He holds a double standard whereby he feels at liberty to see other women, but becomes jealous if he finds Jackie even talking to other men. Although he is envious of Jackie's modest success on Broadway, Tony is baffled by her lack of ambition and tells her of his dreams of stardom. She asks him to come to the last night of the show she's been in, and he bitches and moans about it. We think we also have to pause at this moment and talk about the opening montage and how chintzy and terrible the Staying Alive logo was.
What?
And the music's terrible. Terrible.
What? This is one of
Terrible.
the best soundtracks fucking ever.
No,
Can I
there's
tell
not a
you-
single hit.
Yeah, no. When I was watching this, all I could think of every single, especially, I'm getting ahead of myself, especially every single time they were about to do a montage of
Mhm.
scenes that did not match the music at all.
Mhm.
They every fucking song sounded like that song in Scarface, Push It to the Limit, the limit. You remember that song?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes. I
God.
actually was singing that
Every
because they all
single song
sound
that
like that
came
song.
on, that's all I could think of. Asked my husband because every time it came on, I would look at him and sing it.
Okay, you've got to look out for number one. I was throwing fucking punches in the air. I was fucking this montage. You gotta look out for number one. Frank Stallone. Oh my God, this fucking song rocks. This
It
montage
wasn't
rocks.
nominated for an Oscar. P.S. I'm looking, and it was nominated for Razzies.
You're
No
nominated
Oscar
for a Razzie.
nominations.
Yeah, it was. You're nominated for a Razzie.
I feel like this movie was probably, I think Frank Stallone must have something on his brother and made him put him in this movie.
Okay, so what happened was the Bee Gees were actually going to do the soundtrack for this, but Sylvester, John Travolta ended up having like a falling out with them, so they pulled out, and Sylvester Stallone brought his brother in to complete the soundtrack, which he did. A very talented songwriter, very talented musician, Frank Stallone. I think his voice is amazing. I think his songwriting is amazing. I think he really knocked it out of the park with this. I love this
Amazing.
soundtrack.
Amazing.
What? Yeah, amazing.
Amazing.
Frank Stallone. Yes, Frank Stallone
No.
is an amazing musician.
This music is caca.
So you guys didn't notice Richie Sambora in all the club scenes was the lead
No.
guitar player? Yeah.
No.
So I go back and watch. You'll be like, oh my God, it's Richie Sambora. Yeah.
I will never
He's,
watch that movie again.
So this movie is very similar to Staying Alive, because
Not
I
at
did
all.
watch them both. Oh, absolutely. So you've got Tony Manero, he in the first one, he falls in love with the more classically trained dancer. But he's got his dance partner who he dates, who's in love with him, but he is not in love with her, and she's like totally enamored with him, and he uses her to work on a dance routine, but at the same time he's in love with this more sophisticated, more classically trained dancer. That's Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
Here we go, Staying Alive.
Yeah, because I don't really remember the first one that much.
Oh yeah, it was full
The
of
first one is
racial
engaging
slurs.
and interesting, but it's
horrifying.
It is horrifying, but it's very, very realistic.
Yeah, we've got rape, we've got racial slurs, we've got assaults on innocent people. Staying Alive is a horrible movie. Saturday Night Fever is a horrible movie. It's good, but wow, there's a lot going on there.
Well, there's a lot of realistic shit that was happening in Brooklyn in the 70s.
Yeah,
I
guess.
Whereas this is cotton candy fluff that somebody stepped on in the bottom of a theater.
No,
I'm not gonna lie. You're sitting here, Des, and here's talking about Frank Stallone. He's like, amazing. I'm literally looking at my notes, and all it says is Frank Stallone singing. Eek.
I love Frank Stallone singing in this.
Frank Stallone's a potato.
You're a potato. Okay. I love this opening montage. It got me so excited for this. So let me tell you, if Satan's Alley was a real show on Broadway, this is a show I would love to go see. It's like, you know what it reminded me of? You know what what John Travolta reminded me of in this? He-Man, right? Remember He-Man by the power of Grayskull with the sword and the muscles and the little
What are you even
claw
talking
thing?
about?
Okay.
How does he remind you of He-Man? How?
Dude, have you ever
In what
seen
way?
He-Man? Like the way
Of
he's
course
dressed?
I know He-Man.
Like the way he's dressed, the power of Grayskull. He's standing on a giant skull with his arm up and his muscles and his little fur fucking...
Oh, you mean like in the show? Gotcha.
Yes,
yeah, I
in
guess.
the show, Satan's Alley. It's like the He-Man.
I thought he reminded me of a little bit of Beastmaster.
Beastmaster? I'll go with Beastmaster. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah. Just so you know, the music is fucking horrible in this movie. There's not a single hit. There's nothing recognizable at all.
Thank you.
Fucked.
Saturday Night Fever, you watch, and it's hit after hit after hit. It's so good. Every song has you going like, oh, I remember this song. This is just like,
no, get the fuck out.
Thank you. I'm writing it. I'm looking at my notes. And so the first one was Frank Stallone singing Eek. The second one is Moody Girl song during the party. Ugh.
No.
Yes.
Fire,
honey, stop singing that song.
Oh,
Nobody wants to
song
hear
is
it.
the best. It gets me so
It's not.
jazzed up. I love this soundtrack. Oh, when
I
she's
love how
crying.
you tried to front that it was an Oscar. It was an Oscar nominee. It's not an Oscar nominee.
Was Staying Alive the movie nominated for an Oscar?
The silence is deafening.
I thought didn't he say it won an Oscar?
I think he's just said it was nominated, but
Oh.
it didn't even get nominated, so it didn't win shit. Look at the face. He's so upset.
All right. Let's go. Let's get into this thing.
Oh man. All right. Let's see here. Also, if anybody listening hasn't noticed yet, this movie completely is going to uncover the fact that Des has the worst fucking taste in movies ever.
This fucking bullshit. That's bullshit.
All right, moving on.
This is coming from the person that gave fucking Neighbors a 1.5 with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd in
yes,
their
because
prime.
it's not good.
You're not
It's not good.
Go.
Just because
All
they're
right.
in it doesn't make it good.
It's
Sorry.
great, actually.
Just because he's in it doesn't make it good.
Mickey, have
Sorry.
you ever seen Neighbors?
Don't bother.
Again, that's one of those ones that I saw a really long time ago, and so I don't remember if I liked it or not.
Oh, so good. I wonder if
And I'm not
Tony's
saying
ever
that
seen
just to like get out of this, but like I really don't. I don't remember if I liked it. Or not.
Do you think Tony's ever seen it? Neighbors?
Let me text. I'll text him while we're
Yeah,
talking.
text him. I would like to
Okay.
find out right now what Tony. Ask him his rewatch score on Neighbors.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
I
bringing
read an
on.
interesting. I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I was
No.
just gonna say I read an interesting article about Staying Alive, and the guy was basically saying that like the movie's a lot of fun if you've got like a bunch of people that love to roast movies, watching it all together. So you do it like Rocky Horror style, and everybody like makes fun of it, like roasts the movie. But he did say that he loves.
3000.
It's basically it wasn't him; it was just a dude writing an article, but it was that basic idea, right? And
Yeah.
he was saying, Saturday Night Fever is all about revealing that Tony is actually smarter and more sensitive than he seems on the surface. Like that's like the kind of the point of the movie. Whereas Staying Alive seems to be more about being like, nope, just kidding. He's really a dickhead. Like,
All right. So I'll give you this. Okay. Tony Manero in this, he is a psycho. I mean, there's points in this where if you change the music to like Carrie or something, or like The Shining, like he is like stalking this woman he's had sex with once. Like he's like there's parts in this movie where like they're at a party and he's like glaring over at her. Like if it was like
Yeah, he's a little psychotic. Yeah.
he's
yeah, like
psychotic.
you put
He's
two
a guy
twins
that
in
if I-
blue dresses.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you put two twins in blue dresses behind him, it becomes a horror movie immediately.
Yeah, oh, it is a horror movie. He cheats on his girlfriend, then he calls her at 3:00 in the morning, like because he's all gassed up, like, "Hey, Jackie, you're Jackie. I just had sex." Yeah. it's psycho.
If I met this guy at a bar, I'd probably throw a drink in his face.
Come on.
Yeah.
If you guys met this
Yeah.
guy at a bar, you'd be like, "Holy shit, this guy is hot."
No.
No.
Not my type.
Like that woman. You know why I order so many drinks? Yeah, because you're an alcoholic. I fucking love that line. No, because I like to watch you walk. Because you're an
Yeah, that's-
alcoholic. There's some
that's,
funny lines
her-
in this.
Yeah.
They're-
So he said, yes, he has seen Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
He said 4.25, and I said out of 5, and I'm waiting for him. I got the little
Wait a
dots,
second.
so I'm
Wait a
waiting
second. Is
for
he
his
talking
response.
about The Neighbors, the new one, or is he talking about the one with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd? Because
Hold
there
on.
was another Neighbors that has
and the
like
one
Zac
with John
Efron.
Belushi and Dan Aykroyd crushes Zac Efron's because I watched that one yesterday. Wasn't bad. Not
It's
a
funny.
classic. Not a classic, though.
He said, I said, out of 5? His response, yes, dear. Just like they do on Hey, did you ever see that movie?
All right. So with my 5 and Tony's 4.25, Neighbors is almost a perfect movie. You have no fucking taste in movies.
No,
and
sorry,
I can't
honey.
wait till next week. We're bringing on John Salome, who is the director
Salemi.
Okay, we're bringing on Jonathan Salemi, who is the director and writer of The Last Deal, and we will be reviewing his movie, The Last Deal. And I'm going to ask him what his score would be on Neighbors. And I'm also going to ask him what movie is better, The Fifth Element or Neighbors. So we're going to put this to bed once and for all.
I can tell you the Fifth Element's a hell of a lot better than Staying Alive.
Oh, please. No.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
God. Okay,
Yes.
we got some real acting in this movie. All right, let's do this. We haven't even talked about a single scene yet.
I know. Despite being a jealous prick, Tony attends the final performance of Jackie's latest Broadway show. And lo and behold, instead of paying attention to his girlfriend, he becomes entranced by Laura, played by Fiona Hughes, the lead dancer. He goes to Laura's dressing room and makes a nuisance of himself while attempting to flirt with her. Despite that, she invites him to audition for her next show, Satan's Alley. Jackie waits for Tony outside the theater and is angered by his interest in Laura. So, Mikki, as women, I'm willing to bet we've both been in a situation like what happened in Laura's dressing room where the guy won't leave. He's not getting the clue that you're not interested. Unfortunately, I was never strong enough to close the door in the dude's face. I would probably just wait until he got the clue and left. But
really, what Broadway show were you starring in? Because I think I missed that.
Well, I mean, I've had dressing rooms. I wasn't on Broadway.
Yeah,
you want to go there?
No, I totally have. I've definitely dealt with guys like that. And like I said, if he was someone that I met at a bar, I'd probably throw a drink in his face. Little fun fact, Finola Hughes, she actually played a character named Anna Devane on General Hospital.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say the only thing I know her from is the soaps.
Yeah. I thought she had a badass character. She had like a scarred face. Remember that?
Oh, I don't.
I didn't even
never
know she
really
was in
watched
this.
it.
But yeah, I just, I will say, this movie was like leg warmer heaven, which I loved because I think leg warmer should come back in style. I love leg warmers.
Yeah.
But I really, he's that, no offense, he's that guy that doesn't know how to take no for an answer. He's that guy you need to warn your daughters about. Like, she said no. He, go the fuck away. Like, you know what I mean?
But
he's just
clearly didn't mean no, because as we know, she says
coercion.
Yes.
Coercion.
It's called This Was Written by Sylvester Stallone.
Hey, you almost
That's
damaged
not real
my
life.
face with the door. You
But-
slammed
and
the door
also-
right in my face.
What I don't understand is I'm gonna pull a Des here because he goes to this audition at the beginning, right? He's in this audition and he's doing this, like, he's sweating for like however many hours he's in the audition. Then he walks out to go to work and he's perfect.
Perfect.
His hair is
Yeah.
perfect.
Tony Manero. That guy fucking is always perfect. Fucking amazing.
Is he?
But
Is he?
He's doing this audition in the scene you're talking about, and the lady's like, "I'm Joy," and he's like, "No, I'm Happiness." And it's like, you're just trying to get the part, or are you just a moron?
Yeah,
moron. Yeah. So both Tony and Jackie attend this audition, and while Jackie's hired immediately, Tony is told that he will be notified by telephone later. After the audition, Laura is waiting for Tony. For what reason, I really can't figure out, but okay. They end up spending the day walking around the city, taking a carriage ride, and end up in bed together. Once they're done, she tells him to leave, and he's stunned because no one ever tells him to leave. She even implies, yeah.
Are you serious? You really want me to go?
Yeah, you do. She even implies that Tony was trying to use her in order to get a dance role in her latest show. On his way home, he makes sure to call Jackie and make sure she's got no guys in her apartment because he's gross. Despite that, the next day, Tony gets the phone call telling him he's got the job. That night, he breaks a date with Jackie to wait for Laura outside her apartment building, like a psychopath. However, he sees Laura in the company of another man and has a typical jealous fit. So, Des, I know you've got to be aware of how misogynistic and narcissistic Tony is, and you've said it already before we even got into today's podcast. But he pretty much goes full stalker at this point. Like, waiting for somebody outside their apartment is just weird.
Yeah, but I love this movie. It's nothing to do like I don't I don't care. All right. So this movie is like Rocky 3 on Broadway. Like I said in that text you guys.
You're right. Yeah.
Montages.
Even my Tony said the same thing.
Yeah, we're getting montages, we're getting muscles, we're getting fights, we're getting clawed eyes and bloody things, and the great music. So I love when they're walking in Central Park, and he tries to flag down the fucking carriage, and it won't stop, and she fucking pulls out like $100 bill, and the horse is like, bah! And the thing stops, and she's like, "Get in the fucking cart, dipshit!" Like, so I love that this woman has his number, and she is fucking with him the whole movie. We get tons of great lines for like, "We didn't have a fight, you had a fight." Like she's great, and she keeps setting him up to kick him down again, and I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, I love the fact that she was like, and this actually made me laugh because, like, she even, she was such a proper English woman. She's like, she didn't say, "We fucked one night." She's like, "We made it." Like everything was like, "You're gonna make it. Let's make it." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
everyone uses everybody. Yeah. She snaps on him right there when he grabs her arm. "Don't you grab me? Don't you touch me?" Oh,
good for her, man. He shouldn't have grabbed her. He's creepy.
Totally. Oh, listen. He's fucking crazy ass in this fucking movie. Crazy ass. So he's got the date set up with Jackie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he goes. He's hanging out outside this girl's apartment building. Like you said, they have no plans. They're not even dating. They hooked up once. And
they made it once.
They made it once. And she's actually nice enough to invite him up. She goes, "You want to come up? Have a drink? Hang out?" "No. Oh, fucking you go da. And then he's so butthurt, he can't even go on his date. He's just fucking taking his balls home and he's gonna pout and fucking he's insane.
He's an infant.
Insane.
He's an
He's
infant.
an infant. But he's one hell of
He's a
man
man-child.
He's got fire, and he's got passion.
Okay. Don't start with the song again. Stop it.
Fire.
I'm gonna have to insist that stops. Don't do that anymore.
Okay.
Christ. Oh my God.
I'm gonna have to insist that stops. I'm looking at
Do
my
I sound
notes.
like your husband?
You do. You really do.
Wait a
I'm
second.
looking at
I
my-
said no, and I mean it.
How about that bed? How about her bed, Laura's bed?
Yeah.
Is that thing fucking amazing or what?
That just goes to show how much money this chick's got.
Right.
The bed, the
apartment.
limo, the what is she living on Central Park? Like, she's doing okay for herself.
Who owns this limousine? Who owns this fucking limousine? I want to know who owns the
As we're
limousine.
going through the movie, I'm like making these little notes on my phone, and I'm looking at this one. It says Tony's character is a dick.
Dude,
He's a dick.
so creepy. He really is. Even like in the club, like, and then Frank Stallone too. Like he's like in that white suit, staring at her on stage, like just glaring. And then she comes over, stops halfway through the song, goes over to talk to him, and Frank Stallone is like humping his guitar and like staring at her, like leering and grinding, and oh god,
It's all
so
bad.
fucking-
It's all
I love
bad.
it. No, I love it.
It's all bad.
It's horrible.
Anyway, as we move on, rehearsals begin for Satan's Alley. Tony berates Laura for her casual attitude towards their relationship. Tony feels used by her. How does it feel, asshat? She tells him it was just a one-night stand and then tells him everybody uses everybody. His attitude surprises her as she believes they were merely using each other. Jackie is unhappy by Tony breaking several promises to meet with her. She's also the vocalist of a local band and unable to trust Tony, instead presumably begins a relationship with the band's rhythm guitarist, Frank Stallone, which further upsets Tony after his conflict with Laura. Later, Tony ignores another date with Jackie to attend a cocktail party at Laura's apartment, but is disappointed to discover that Laura's companion for the evening is Jesse, their director for Satan's Alley. Although Jackie is in love with Tony, she can no longer tolerate his infidelity. She breaks things off with him, but promises to remain friends. So, Mikki, I know that the relationship with Tony and Jackie is meant to show Tony's emotional growth throughout the film, but I have a hard time believing he's going to just stop acting like a dog all of a sudden, no matter what. Because this is
I agree.
This is 2 films of him doing this.
Agree. And honestly, I saw no emotional growth during this film whatsoever.
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
I don't.
That's wrong. That's
None.
wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong.
It's not, though. It's not.
So you guys didn't feel any melancholy when she's singing the song and he's standing there and there's a tear rolling down her eye because she's singing to him.
Okay, the melancholy that I do feel is for her and not for him because he's a dick.
Yeah.
Like, if
I
I
wasn't
felt any
feeling it for
feelings,
him.
it's for her. It's not
Yes,
his
of
emotional
course.
growth, it's hers.
No, but he has emotional growth at the end of the movie because at the end of the movie,
Why? Because he
you
goes
know-
and struts?
no, because Laura wants to hook up and he says, I got other commitments. He's now committed to Jackie.
No,
That's
he's
it.
not.
He's made the choice.
Just
No,
wait
he's
till
not.
another Laura walks into his
let
life.
me tell you something. When he struts at the end and they play Staying Alive, I got so excited. I literally almost cried. Okay. I got like my
Wow.
heart started racing. I got the feels in my stomach.
See,
It was
I love that. I
awesome.
think that's so sweet, but I hate that it was for such a shitty movie.
Oh shit. All right, so I want to say that the guy who plays the director, Jesse. Oh, come on. Did you guys love this character?
I tell you what, I would have rather have had Kurtwood Smith from the beginning of the movie.
What are you, dude? Are you guys did you take mescaline before you watched this? Fucking the guy who plays Jesse with the beard and the fur jackets and the fucking dude, he is amazing. What'd you ever do? What did you ever do? What does the world owe you? Nothing. Oh, he was fucking great. I loved him. If you're done dancing, get off the stage. Fuck,
Wow.
guy. I love that guy. I love that guy.
Yeah,
So-
I don't feel the same way.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, Lord.
I just want to know why, honestly, and why, like, I don't know. Sylvester Stallone seems like a fairly intelligent guy. Like, why did none of the music match the scenes that he was putting it to when they were doing the montages?
They
I
were
don't know.
matched perfectly.
Oh my
No, they
God.
don't.
No.
Oh,
It's
They had a
garbage.
what I
slow
love too?
motion. They had a slow motion dance sequence with music that sounded like it came from fucking Scarface. Like it was like, no, like
love
it was
that
just
sequence. Oh, it was so good. And you know what I love too about these montages is if you ever watch 80s videos from the day, right? Like real ones, like Loverboy and stuff. So
Yeah.
halfway through, like in Loverboy, the drum will be like, and it like stops and freezes on his face and then goes back
Yeah.
in and then it'll be like, and it's always like on some horrible face. He's like, he's cross-eyed, making the worst face. It's like so they stuck to that. Like this is a
Oh, it's very 80s.
MTV
Very 80s.
music video, and I'm popping a pants tent for an hour and 30 minutes. I love this movie. I love this movie. I love all the I love when he's in the fucking in his little hotel waiting for the phone call. And the
Oh,
people
that's no
are like,
hotel. That is
Yeah.
like he literally rents like a weird room. Ugh.
yeah, the people that are sitting there, I gotta find some new residents. He's fucking great. Hey, turn down that radio. He's holding the radio in his hand.
They're all sitting in the hallway, like that's their pastime is sitting in the
And-
hallway.
And when he's talking to Laura and she's like, well, I'll have to cancel a yoga class. He's like, I have to cancel a brain operation. She goes, you think that's a good idea? I'm fucking laughing.
That is funny.
So the
I mean,
movie's
there's some
laughing at
funny
itself.
lines. There's some funny lines, but you know, the alt-state thing is funny. It makes me laugh. But
Fucking hilarious.
you know, there's definitely quite a few problems here as well.
You're telling me if I told you I had tickets to Satan's Alley, the musical on Broadway, you wouldn't go see that. You didn't think that fucking musical looked at all interesting.
Oh, I'd go to see it because it would just be such a shit show. I'd have to see it in person.
Oh, you go to see it because you love it.
Okay.
I wish
Let's
you
move
guys could
on.
see Mikki. She's rubbing her temples, and I can only see half her face at this point. Okay.
She's melting into her desk. She's had enough.
Holy shit, this is Satan's alley.
I'm just gonna say this. This was a perfect movie for the week I've had.
Okay. Dance. Fire.
Didn't I tell you no more of that?
The fire. What?
All right. Tony leaves his party and walks all the way to Manhattan to his old neighborhood in Brooklyn in the middle of the night.
I Googled it. 10.5 miles. 10.5 miles. He's not walking 10.5 miles in that white suit and those
He's gonna strut.
Fucking those gray ostrich boots he's wearing and his teal t-shirt. No. And why isn't he? And listen, if you could walk from where he was to his mom's house, right? Why isn't he just living there and commuting into the city? I mean, he could literally walk there. Why are you living in the
fucking 10 and a half miles every day in each direction?
Yeah, well, in this movie, it was just a quick jaunt.
Well, it was a montage.
It was.
During the montage, he walks by his former Saturday night hangout, the 2001 Odyssey Discotheque, realizing that it's now an all-male nude review.
Yeah, it's gay.
Wah, wah. He visits his old house and sees his mother, played by Julie Bavasso, who is now single since Tony's angry and unemployed father left her 3 or 4 years earlier. Good for her. Probably doing her a favor. Tony apologizes to his mother for his selfish ways when he was young. She tells him it was selfishness that got him out of the dead-end life in Brooklyn. Feeling better after this, Tony decides to eat his pie and then go back to Manhattan to make things right with Jackie. So yeah.
You're saying I can be a fucking douchebag and I can cheat on my girlfriend and stalk this other chick because it comes natural, right? Yeah. Yeah, double yeah. All right, then give me another slice of pie, Ma. What? Dude, believe me, I'm not blinded to what's going on here, okay?
I mean, it feels like you are.
No, because you guys were missing the charm of this movie.
I have nothing to add right now.
Tumbleweeds.
I have nothing to add right now.
All right. Moving on. During rehearsal.
I lied. I will say this.
He's got something. Okay.
I will say this. I hope that when we finally get to do Grease 2, Des will feel this way about Grease 2 because he should.
God,
he won't.
Grease
he will
2.
Definitely roast it to death, and because we love it, he'll roast it to death.
No way. Dude, listen, anything sexy, 80s, 70s Travolta, I'm all in.
No, he wasn't in Grease 2.
Oh, that's why Grease 2 sucks.
No, it does not.
Listen, that's why Grease 2 sucks.
No, it does not.
Grease 1 is a hot rod. Grease 2 is like a fucking foreign car.
You've never seen it.
Grease 1 is American Muscle. Grease 2 is fucking trash.
You've never seen it.
Yeah, I don't need to. I've seen Grease 1, and the fact you're going to make part 2 and leave it, that's like making Rocky Horror
Staying
Picture
Alive.
Show. Yeah, it's like making Staying Alive with Sylvester Stallone as Tony Manero. Okay?
Oh my God.
So
listen.
Making Grease 2 without John Travolta is like making Rocky Horror Picture Show without fucking Frankenfooter.
Listen, Grease 2, the other crowd graduated at the end of their year. That's the whole point, that at the end of Grease, that they graduate.
Yeah,
and
well,
they
Tony
leave. So
should have been held back
to
a year.
To high school?
He should have been held back a year.
No.
Yeah.
The whole
like
point
Ben
is that he's in love with
Affleck.
Sandy and they leave. So why would they come back?
Well, then why make another movie?
Because it's fucking fun.
It's not. Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Me and Tony both know that Neighbor's a kick-ass movie.
Oh, good Lord. Moving on.
I'd
during
really
the
like
rehearsal.
to get some listeners writing
Every
in
time I
telling
start
us what they
talking,
think.
you just start
Yeah,
talking
because
over
you
me,
got
huh?
nothing to say on this one.
I mean, I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to tell you the scenes, jerky.
Yeah, and you keep your derogatory towards Tony Manero with every single scene you learn. And then Tony Manero, this fucking ignorant scumbag, goes down to his... All right.
He's not.
Oh, nice. Did you see how it froze on her face? She looks like we hit her with a frying pan.
So he's not an ignorant scumbag?
No, I mean...
Yeah. So I'm calling it as I see
it's
it.
his upbringing. Blame his
Is it?
parents.
Is it?
His mom
All
said
right.
it was all right because it came
I
natural.
have in my notes attention-seeking narcissist.
Yeah.
Attention-seeking narcissist.
Yeah. So during a rehearsal, Tony notices the director's frustration with Butler, Laura's leading man. His rigid dance style is poorly suited to the material. Tony begs Jackie to meet him at the studio after rehearsal with the promise that he will keep the appointment. She shows up with Frank Stallone in tow, who leaves her there when Tony reveals his intention to replace the leading man and enlists Jackie's help in learning one of Butler's routines. Afterwards, as Tony walks Jackie home, he declares his love for her and promises to be faithful. In a moment of bad judgment, Jackie takes him back. In the morning, Jesse, the director, agrees to let Tony demonstrate the routine despite Laura's protests. He tries to pull it off and it goes badly, and Tony, angered, runs for the exit. The director catches him and reminds him of the rare opportunity he's been given and advises Tony to get his shit together. He's allowed another chance, and after giving a flawless performance, he wins the role. We're then subjected to a lengthy training montage of everyone learning their roles in classic 80s workout gear. So, Mikki, to me, this is the classic scene where the dancer proves themselves. Like he's seen it done before and probably better in, movies like A Chorus Line, stuff like that. I think in the real world, the director wouldn't have chased him, and he probably would have shrugged and been like, well, he'll never work in New York again. And that would have ended the movie.
Agreed. Because he acted like a spoiled little dick. Like,
yeah.
Tell us how you really feel.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually have this in my notes too. This was my final. I have a couple of other notes, but the final note that I wrote. I don't know the last time I disliked a character so much.
Oh God. Okay, so Butler had a raisin in his tights, and Tony had an apple in his tights.
Were you looking?
I couldn't help but to notice.
I feel like, and here's the thing. Like, I feel like a dancer like that's never worked on Broadway before comes in and does that and then has a fucking meltdown and throws a temper tantrum like an idiot and then walks out. That guy is not going to chase you. That guy is not
you're
gonna...
done.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. Okay. Jesse saw the argument that Laura and Tony had. He was standing up on the second floor and he witnessed the whole thing. Okay. So he knows that fucking Brody or whatever fucking Raisin Shorts his name is. What's the guy's name? Butler. He knows Butler sucks. The guy's got no fire. He's mechanical. He's not going to be able to pull off Satan's Alley. This show's going to be a flop. So he sees something in Tony. Tony may not be as mechanically correct, but he's got fire. Doo-doo, doo-doo, dance. And he can see this. So he's got that. And on top of it, Tony is sexy as fuck. You're going to put this guy in that little rabbit fur fucking outfit, grease him up. He's going to get them on their feet on Broadway. And then you add on top of that him and Fiona are sexually charged. And they're having this chemistry. And he wants to see it. And he knows this is a rare opportunity. And he's going to cash in on it. Because Jesse is a good producer.
So Mrs. Monero attends the opening performance, bragging about her son to the audience members. At the end of the first act, Tony taunts Laura by kissing her, and Jesse warns Tony not to bring his personal shit on stage.
What the fuck was that all about, by the way?
I know, right? He's bad.
Sorry.
Oh, Jackie, I'm going to be, I'm going to be true to you. And then he kisses Laura on stage. Whether it's fuck with her or not cool.
That kiss didn't mean nothing.
Yeah, not cool.
That kiss didn't mean nothing.
Not cool. Not cool.
That didn't mean nothing.
Not cool. Following the second act, Laura asks Tony to meet her after the show, but when he declines, she insults his dancing ability. Tony proves himself in the third act by performing an unscripted solo routine, ending with a leap onto a pedestal at center stage. He beckons Laura to join him, then holds her aloft with one hand as the audience responds with a standing ovation.
Jump, goddammit!
After the show, Tony apologizes to Jackie, again, because despite his promises, he's not going to change. And following his renewed relationship with Jackie, Tony exits by the stage door to strut in celebration, reminiscent of the opening scene of Saturday Night Fever, as he walks alone through the nighttime Times Square, beaming with newfound confidence. So, Des, you love Satan's Alley. Go ahead and tell us all about it.
Oh, all right. So So the elephant in the room, here it is. So obviously, Saturday Night Fever, he's dancing like, I mean, you guys must admit, John Travolta is killing it in Saturday Night Fever. The guy learned how to dance. Like, those routines he's putting on are amazing disco dancing routines. Yes?
I don't remember it.
I mean, honestly, there's a lot. This is difficult dancing. This is not easy. Like, I give them full credit for this. You know, it's not easy to do those scenes.
All right,
I'm sorry.
You guys are fucking missing the whole point of this. What is wrong with you?
So what are you saying? Just fucking say it and stop crying.
What I'm saying is Saturday Night Fever was known for these amazing disco dancing routines that John Travolta learned and mastered and perfected. He is dancing at the highest level that you can dance at with these disco routines. He basically created what people were going to do in discos all over the country and all over the world. This, he was unable to really pull off a Broadway leading man. I mean, it's not his fault. He did fine. And Stallone did fine cutting it with these really tight close-up shots that showed a lot of action. And yeah, it was believable, but no one's watching this and being like, man, John Travolta's an amazing classically trained dancer. No, it's fine. But that was the weak point of this movie. But the way it was shot, it worked for me. But I had so much fun watching this show. I loved it. You got the smoke. All right. So there's so much potential for injury on this stage, okay? You've got smoke everywhere. You've got the chance of someone tripping over a wire. You've got Laura coming down 5 flights of stairs in the dark. They're standing on these pedestals with no railing around it, going up 40 feet in the air while he's holding her with one hand. He sneezes, she dies, okay? So, yeah. But, I love, you got the whips and you got gimps and bondage masks and women with blood all over their titties and, he's whipping and they're spinning and dance, fire, doo-doo. I loved it. I fucking loved it. And then I love when he does a pirouette dance and Jesse's up in the booth. He's like, perfect. I'm like, that's right, it was perfect. Okay.
Oh my God.
God, you guys should see the faces Vicky's making.
God. It was painful to watch this movie. I'm sorry. I know you did, but I just didn't.
We get the growth. He shuts Laura down. He says, I've got other commitments. He is committed to Jackie now. He told her he loves her. He wants to change his place.
Because he doesn't need Laura now because he danced. He got the part.
Thank you. First of all, he doesn't need Laura now. And second of all, Laura has basically shut him down 5 times. So he's like, you know what? I don't need that. I have this other one that's going to just do whatever I want her to do. And later on, he'll meet another pretty girl and he'll do the same thing that he did already.
Can we all agree that Jackie is an awesome character, though? She's
I love Jackie.
Musician.
She's the best character.
Yeah, she's a musician. Yeah. She sings great. She's in the house band with Richie Sambora. And, she's also, in all these Broadway shows. And presumably she hasn't, been screwing guys. Because, you see Laura comes home in the limo when Tony's stalking her, and who's she with? She's with the producer to the last show. And, so I'm thinking that Laura is a little bit she's she's getting all these parts because she's the best dancer.
I mean, part
She
of it
seems-
probably is she is, getting more attention for whatever reason, be it in the
she
bedroom
says
or
to
not.
Tony, everybody uses everybody.
Yeah.
That's the way the world works.
Well, that's how she works.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Jackie just works hard.
Yeah, I agree.
I love
Jackie's
Jackie.
my favorite character in the entire movie.
She actually, in real life, used to be married to Richard Marx.
Oh, really?
And they actually met on the set of that movie.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yep.
And Richard Marx is now married to Daisy Fuentes.
Yeah.
Because he's a bit of a Tony Manero, I guess.
I don't think so.
Well,
Daisy Fuentes and Richard Marx live next door to Tracy Guns because he's always posting pictures with them because they come over and hang out, which is so weird to me. It
that is
makes my
weird.
brain hurt. It's very odd, an odd mix.
It is weird.
Yeah.
One of my Tony's friends is like Tracy Guns' assistant or personal bodyguard or something. He does security for them or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
You know what was funny? You guys kept freezing, like your video would freeze. So it was kind of like a montage. Like Lynn would be like, I don't know, he does all sorts of stuff. Doo-doo, fire.
Okay, stop that. Oh my God.
Dude, I'll start the next 50 shows with that.
Please don't. I will literally stop doing the podcast.
Oh,
I have
shit.
to insist that you stop.
Holy shit. Dude, I've been so busy at work, I'm demented. Okay?
Me too.
Yeah, you are demented.
All right. This was an odd show today.
It was, but it was fun.
I had fun.
I did too.
Did we do final thoughts already?
No. We're getting there.
Yes, here we go. Don't fucking Mikki bought 2 pairs of shoes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Apparently, I
she went
didn't.
to like Alibaba.com and was like, please take my credit card. 2 pairs, half price. Oh God.
No.
Okay. All right. Would you like to give that credit card number out now?
No.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's do final thoughts and rewatch score. We're gonna do the recast this bitch. Okay. Let's recast this mother effer. Okay. So I'm gonna recast. I mean, I had said this. I thought that Carrie Fisher in her Princess Leia days could have played Laura. Okay. But I'm trying to reimagine who else could have played Tony Manero. How about Val Kilmer in his Top Gun era? Lean, tall, sexy, tan, good hair, big smile. I think he could have pulled it off. And then what about maybe John Stamos if you buffed him up? Greased him up and buffed him.
Why not? It might
Give
work.
me some more crickets there.
No, I think those are good. Those are decent.
Okay, Dylan, what do you got?
I think I would recast. I think I would like to cast Tony Manero, and I would like to recast him with a young Paul Newman.
A young Paul
what?
Newman?
Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Paul Newman?
Young Paul Newman. Have you seen young Paul Newman?
Yeah, it's not going to work.
It's hot.
I mean, maybe a young Robert Redford, but a young Paul Newman?
Yeah.
Paul
why
Newman?
not? Yeah. Have you seen young Paul Newman?
Dude,
Have
the
you
guy
seen
makes
what he looks
spaghetti
like?
sauce. The guy makes
Yes, but
spaghetti
he doesn't
sauce.
look
We're
like
not-
that anymore.
He's not fire or
Well, he's dead
dance.
now, but
Yeah, he's not firing or dancing.
He is?
No.
what?
Paul
Yes.
Newman's dead?
Yeah. Yeah, he passed
How'd he
away.
die?
You're like, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
He's old.
He's like, yeah, I think so.
You know, he's old. He's old. Or he was old.
Are you sure he's dead?
He died in 2008 at
Is Paul
83.
Newman dead?
Okay.
He died at. I'm telling you, he's dead.
On September 26, 2008.
Okay. Died on September 26, 2008. He's been dead for quite a while.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay, Mikki, who are you going to recast in this movie? Final thoughts.
Scrap the whole fucking thing. No, I'm kidding.
Scrap the whole thing.
I think honestly, I would maybe recast Laura. Is it Laura Finola Hughes' character?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
With either Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh, I like
or
that.
Nicole Kidman.
Oh, Nicole Kidman, bang!
Oh,
all right,
look at
that's
you,
it. The
bringing
Oscar goes
it.
to Mikki because
Thanks.
that's. I can imagine her being like, "Don't you touch me! Everybody uses everybody, Tony."
Yeah, yeah.
Honey, I just sent you a picture of young Paul Newman so you can see what I'm talking about. Just so you know.
Let me look at this fucking thing.
Um,
Get the fuck out of here with young Paul Newman. Me and Tony. High 5 and a 4.25 on Neighbors.
Oh, relax.
Oh, all right. All right.
Thank you. Show Mikki.
Damn. Holy shit. He looks like Tony Manero a little bit.
Show Mikki.
Except he's
Hold
got-
it up to the camera.
hold it up. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Look at that.
Dude,
Yeah.
I might just put that there for every show. That's me now.
I told ya.
Damn. Man, he's fucking smoking hot, huh?
Yes, I told ya.
All right.
Or
So I
honestly,
think-
since we were talking about Grease too, we could cast Adrian's Med as Tony Manero.
Oh.
Who's that?
Adrian
Send me a
Zemed.
picture of that dick.
Adrian's Med.
Med?
Yeah.
Okay. Send me a picture of that dick, he says.
Oh God.
Hold on.
Oh my God. Oh, he's not looking good these days, I can tell you that much.
No, I was
Oh,
just
poor
like,
Adrian.
saw that. I was like, damn.
Oh, poor Adrian.
All right. So let's do some final scores.
Shall we?
Dylan, what is your rewatch score for Staying Alive?
Do I have to give it an actual score and not just give it a 0?
Fucking 0? Are you on crack?
I'm not going to give it a 0. I'm not going to give it a 0. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to give it a 0.
Why?
I'm not going to give it a 0 because
here we
0.
go.
No, because a 0 is a fucking bullshit score. So I'm not going to do that because that's a BS score and only what?
Dude, this guy is not good looking. This is the guy in Grease 2? This is the guy in Grease 2?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
looks like some kind of a pervert, like some sort
He's
of a
the-
demented
he's-
paratrooper.
He is the John Travolta
Of Grease 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not the main character of Grease 2, but he's one
Dude,
of them.
there is nothing sexy about that man. He is like Horseshack, okay? Have you ever seen?
I didn't say he was sexy.
He's not sexy. He is not sexy.
Oh my
He
God.
is not.
He's
Okay,
like
so anyways.
half of one of Henry Winkler's thighs.
Oh my God. Okay.
That gets Mickey every time. Henry Winkler's thighs. Okay.
So again, a 0 is a horseshit thing to say. It just doesn't work for me because you're giving no credit to anybody involved. Like, I liked Cynthia Rhodes in this movie. I thought she did a great job. I
Great.
might hate everything else in this movie, but she did a great job, and the dancers obviously were working hard to make it happen. So
The
you gotta give them a
soundtrack?
little. The soundtrack was fucking hot garbage.
Bullshit, man.
Hot garbage.
Look
on
out for
fire.
number 1. So you really don't think Look Out for Number 1 is a good song?
No, I don't think anything on there. I hate all of it.
How about fucking Staying Alive? Saturday Night Fever.
Baby, Staying Alive, they stole it from the other movie and just used it because they could, because they had already gotten the rights to it. And they used it for 3 seconds at the end of the movie. Come on
And
now.
I stood up and cheered. Okay, so what's your
Okay.
fucking score?
Oh my gosh, you're such an ass face.
I can't hear that song now. I can't hear the song Staying Alive without thinking of that meme of the woman on meth and they put her dancing to the Staying Alive music.
God. I'm walking on sunshine.
Oh my God.
God.
This movie is not Staying Alive. I'm going to give it a 1.28.
1.28. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
I think
remember
that's
what
a
you
fair
gave?
score.
Do you remember what you gave Neighbors?
No.
Okay. Mikki, what is your rewatch score for Staying Alive.
Okay, so my final thought. I just deleted all my notes that I've already talked about, except for this one, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna hold it up. Hold on, where the fuck's my camera? Hold on. Oh, I can't see it.
It's just a glowing
No,
orb.
it's just glowing. I can't see it.
Nope.
It says this is shit.
Oh no, this is shit. Okay. Text it to me. Oh,
I just
God.
deleted
my
it.
God.
My rewatch score for Staying Alive is a 1.25.
Okay, so
Right.
1.25. And while I give my score, can you just ask Tony what his score would be for Staying Alive? Because he did watch it
Sure.
with you, correct?
Yes, he did. Okay.
So give us your score. We're not going to wait for him. Come on.
Okay, so let me start off by saying this movie is awesome. You got montages. You've got a kick-ass soundtrack. You've got the hottest fucking man to ever walk the planet, greased up, ripped to shreds, dance montages, sexy women, Frank Stallone. You got everything you want in a fucking 80s rock opera. Yeah! I'm going to be honest, okay? I'm going to give this because I watched it like 3 times before we even decided to do it for this. So I'm going to give it a 3. 3 rewatch. That's fair. It's above average.
Right.
But I see the
So-
holes.
With our numbers divided by 3, that brings it to 1.84333, which puts it right where it belongs, right after Strange Days and right above Streets of Fire. It's at number 35.
My Tony said he would give it a 2.25 out of 5.
I think me and Tony see movies very similar.
I'm just glad it didn't beat Strange Days. Fuck
Hey,
Staying
can
Alive.
we add Tony's 4.25 to the
Nope.
other 3 scores and move
Nope.
Neighbors up?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Okay. So, as always, I enjoy watching movies from opposite ends of the house, even though we did watch this one together. And I'll be honest with you, it was a little strange. Let's not do that again. Mikki, it's always fun doing movies with you. I apologize for forcing you to watch this. I
It's all right.
could tell by the stream of texts we had back and forth all week that you were not excited about doing this and demanded that we do Fast Times at Ridgemont High for your next movie as retribution for being forced to do this, which I have agreed to do, and one of my favorite movies. And we did talk about how Billy Rosewood, I believe, is Hamilton. So I think that that Judge Reinhold's character in Fast Times at Ridgemont High actually is Billy Rosewood. I think that
when he's a child, like when he's a teenager?
Yes. I believe
Okay.
that he actually graduated from Ridgemont High and became a police officer for the Beverly Hills Police Department. So you guys
Possible.
can check that out on your own.
Okay.
Next week, we will be back, and we're going to have a very special guest. We are going to have the director and writer of The Last Deal, a movie that came out on Stars this year. He's going to be coming on. He's going to be talking about the movie. So if you haven't seen The Last Deal, go watch it and come back and listen to the discussion. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've already watched it. Tip my hat. I enjoyed it very much. It's an indie movie, but it definitely plays more like a blockbuster. So yeah, check that out.
Yeah, his name is Jonathan Salemi. He'll be joining us next week.
Yes.
With Tony.
Jonathan Salemi. I'm going to have to practice that last name because, as you all know, I cannot pronounce any names and I do not want to offend our special guest. So that's it. Until next week, I just have one question for you. Hey, did you ever see that movie? Fire Dance. See you next time.
God.
Bye.